Hi there, my name is Cole Dickson, and this is my persuasive speech. Tonight I'll be talking about abortion and a better alternative, adoption. I'll be speaking to my girlfriend, her mother, and her sister, who are all very much pro-life and support adoption. I believe I have the credibility to do this because in the past few years I've taken a couple courses that have gone over abortion, the pros and cons to it, and I've realized that I support adoption fully. I'll be doing this by going through three main points, which firstly would be that God values human life very much. Secondly, that going through an abortion can cause very many negative effects on a woman. And thirdly, that adoption is a better alternative to abortion. And my goal is to hopefully get you to support adoption fully and not look towards abortion. So we see that it is in God's sovereign plan to have life and not have it terminated this way. We see how God supports this in Amos as he talked to the Amorites and told them that it was bad that they were ripping into expecting mothers. We see this in Amos 1:3. Also, in Genesis 1:27, it says that God created us in his own image. And I believe that if God created us in his own image, that he would not like us to abort babies in this way. Also, in our text, Dr. Alvin says that God values human life, and we see this on page 73. And he uses an example in Exodus 20, saying that God commanded us that thou shalt not kill. And if God commanded that of us, I don't believe that abortion should be used at all. So knowing that God really values a human life, I believe that can bring huge amount of guilt on a woman if she goes through abortion. We see that through abortion it can bring many negative effects. The Family and Life organization said that a woman can experience guilt or grief, shock or horror, and eventually that will turn into PAS or post-abortion syndrome, which has many negative effects to the woman emotionally. Also, the American Abortion Association says that anger, shame, loneliness, loss of self-confidence, insomnia, relational issues, eating disorders, and depression can occur when going through an abortion. So looking and understanding the results of going through an abortion, we can see that adoption is a much better choice in the end. Adoption is better because, one, you save an innocent life, and second, it diminishes the guilt on a woman going through abortion. The American Abortion Agency lists many pros to having adoption, which are emotional, feedback is positive, you can actually hold and name your baby and also keep contact with them as they grow up. Kristen Anderson, a writer about abortion and topics like this, stated that 95% of the women who are contemplating having abortions or have thought about it decided that they're much happier actually going through having the baby and adopting them out. And I believe this is because they don't have that guilt. They realize that as a human life, and it would be bad to have them go through an abortion. So looking at these three main points, we see that adoption ultimately is a better choice when contemplating the life or death of the baby. We see this because God values life, because going through an abortion can cause so many negative effects. And we see here that through these organizations, we see that 50% of people that give birth are happy, and the other 50% we see people that have had abortions, and 40% of them are unhappy. 40% of that 50% that didn't let their baby live were upset with the choice that they made. So, in conclusion, we see that having an abortion is not a good choice, that God truly does value human life, that he doesn't want it in his sovereign plan to have an abortion. We see that it can cause many negative effects on the woman and traumatize her life, and also that you can create a beautiful life for a baby when choosing adoption. So I hope that this speech persuaded you to choose adoption, to support adoption, and look towards that when questioning what to do with a human life. Um, so, as I stated before, millions of babies are killed every year. and our mothers chose to have us. So I believe that it is our responsibility to look out for other babies, and to do something to stop abortion and let adoption happen in its place. Thank you very much.